So I got this email asking if I have a minimalist program for people who are limited on time to train. This guy says he only has 30 minutes of time to train for 4 to 5 days per week. So here's my recommendation for anyone who's in a situation like this. Number one, dedicate at least one of those days to some sort of aerobic conditioning. You can do steady state conditioning or interval conditioning. I don't think it really matters. You can alternate between the two. Unless you're playing a sport regularly, you're probably not getting much aerobic training in anywhere else, so don't neglect it. And when it comes to lifting, pick only 2 exercises, maybe 3 exercises per training session. The number of exercises you choose obviously depends on your strength level and how many warm-up sets you need for each exercise, because the warm-up sets obviously cut into your training time. And the stronger you are, the longer it likely takes for you to get into your working sets. So prioritize exercises, like I just said in a recent video, that train a lot of muscle mass and are conducive to using heavy loads. This is mostly going to be variations of squats, deads, and presses. And I think this next point is a little bit underrated, but it's pretty obvious. But you don't want to choose exercises that require some sort of extra or elaborate setup. For example, I probably wouldn't recommend someone doing Bulgarian split squats if they're in this situation. You might not think that the setup for Bulgarian split squats is very elaborate, it's only a bench, but you have to roll the bench out of the rack, then you have to find the right distance for your feet, and since it's unilateral, you have to do one leg and then the other. All of that extra shit takes time. And this is where the programming strategy of density sets, giant sets, build to a heavy 5, EMOMs become really valuable. When you're short on time, you don't want to do 3 to 5 working sets of 2 to 3 exercises. That becomes hard to complete with high intent without getting sloppy. You likely won't get a good training stimulus with the strategy of your basic set and rep schemes. So density sets, you only have 30 minutes to train, pick 1 lower body, 1 upper body exercise. Do a 12-minute density set of each exercise at whatever percentage of your 1 rep you want to choose. That's 24 minutes of actual work, and use 3 minutes on the front end of each exercise for warm-up sets. That puts you at 30 minutes in and out of the session. Here's another sort of variation of a density set. Give yourself a time limit for each exercise, say 12 minutes, and you use that time to just work up to the heaviest set of 5 you can. If you get to a weight that you feel is the heaviest 5 you can hit and you have 2 to 3 minutes left in the density set, hit it again for a second set, and maybe again for a third set if you still have some time left over. Or choose a weight that you want to hit for a triple, or whatever number of reps. Set a timer and time yourself to see how fast it takes you to actually hit that triple. Say it takes you 10 minutes to get there, try to progress that by hitting the weight in less time or a heavier weight in the same time the next time you do that for a session. Or a giant set, same thing, pick 1 lower body exercise and 1 upper body exercise. Put 80% on the bar or something like that, and complete something like 25 quality reps at that weight as quickly as you can without sacrificing intent and technique. Something like that will probably take you about 8 to 12 minutes. Or do the same thing with an EMOM, 1 lower, 1 upper body, 10 to 12 minute EMOM. You choose what would be a good load on the bar, probably something like 75 to 85%, and do something like 1 to 4 reps every minute on the minute. These are some examples that I would recommend for someone who has limited time in the gym, only 30 minutes to train. And I think you get the point by now. And I think the main advice I have is to only select a minimal amount of exercises per session so you can actually put intent into those exercises, and to use less traditional programming strategies outside of your normal set and rep scheme. So if anyone has any further questions on this topic, go ahead and put them in the comments. I might talk about this the next time I do a training session video. But that's all I got. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.